Alright, so I have just about finished mixing my resin. I broke it into 2 containers just because I wanted to make sure that I did remember to put enough clear down before I start adding my peacock colours. And I just want to make sure that I don't overcommit with the volume of resin because I don't want it all falling off, but I want to make sure I've mixed enough. And I do have some other stuff I can be working on if I have any spare boards. So I've got 200 in here and 350 in here, so about 50 ml is too much, but I wanted to keep it just in case, with it being a big piece, I needed to do anything. I have leveled my board and we are going to start getting creative. But before I do that, what I am going to do is pour this into my colours and then we will get creative. So I will fast forward this bit for you. Make sure I definitely have enough for... Oh, I do have a mask on, so hopefully you can hear me. Sorry about the washing machine just finishing. I seem to always put some washing in while I'm working on my art, but I am just mixing in the colours. So that is a peacock green. This is my ultra marine blue, very bright and vibrant. I will come back and make sure these are totally mixed in because you don't want to have streaks from your resins. But having said that, you can create some nice effects. And this is my tropical blue, which I think is just to die for. Such a beautiful colour for that peacock. I'm actually tempted this time to do my body on my peacock on my feather and then come back and add the clear afterwards to fill in the gaps so that I don't get too much distortion of where it is that I am trying to do with the peacock. And then this is my galactic blue, which is the pearlescent ink, which will give a nice highlight and sort of shimmers. So just making sure I've got the right distribution of resin in there. Now I am coming through to my purples and reds, which will be the tail, so I don't need a huge amount in there, but just enough to bring that through. You don't need to mix the inks in as well as you do the pigments. This is my red ink, but when it comes out it's actually more of a raspberry red. This is my purple, but this is the one that does look like raspberries to me. Very nice, vibrant pink. It is supposed to be a purple, but it does tone beautifully. My burlesque, which I think it's more like a dusky rose, but it's actually come quite purple. It's interesting when it's in the packet and then when you come out you do get the difference, but it's got that beautiful tone of purple going through it. My final powder, which is the purple heart, that's got blue tones going through it, but beautiful purple. Looking forward to getting my mask off. Through to my ink purple, which is a very deep purple. And then I want to come through to my bronzers. Put these back, I will move them out of the way, but I want to give them one last stir before they go down. Bronzers are with a tiny little bit of white at the end, just so that I can make sure if I need to do any highlights, I've got that opportunity. So I'm going to need to use some more of that resin from the 200ml, but I think I'm going to have plenty left for the board. Don't want to scrimp on my bronzers when it comes to peacock feathers. Too much white, and I do need to keep the rest of that. It's the beautiful pearlex. They give a beautiful shimmer. They're the best, I feel, to work with, the ones I enjoy working with the most. You get a lot out for your money as well, and this is the one that's got that nice red earthy colour flowing through. Again, these are the 3 colours that I used when I was working on my mountain. It bleeds beautifully into the clear resin as well. coming into my darker one. So I've got warmth, highlights, low lights. Should I with it out? So I just have to be careful with this brown though, because I don't want it to make sludge. So I'm going to try and keep these out of potentially my flip cup of 34. I don't want it to dull down the colours too much. But the other two bright ones I will add those. And then this one will be used for afterwards to create some depth. Through to my white. Okay, so I'm going to start moving these all out of the way now. The white is the one that I think I'm going to use the least, or need the least. Got my window open and doors just to well ventilate it, but with that comes flies and nature. So I might have to do a lot of picking out. My purples and that, I'm going to move out of the way because they're going to go in my flip cup. But I need to make sure I add those just before I need them. I don't want the colours to blend together too much, and I want to create the body of my peacock first. I will put my clear one to one side because I'll need that to fill things in, and then my galactic blue, my tropical blue, all blending beautifully, my ultramarine blue, which I'll use first, and then followed with my peacock green. Cool, this is really exciting. Let's see what I can do with this. So I will start with my dark colour first once I take my mask off. It's a beautiful blue, but I want that underneath. So what I might do is just reference where I want sort of the head to go. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect. It's not going to be a perfect replica. It's more of a feeling of the peacock. Always keep a little bit in your cup. Reason being, if you want to come back and add tones or anything like that, you can. Bringing that in because that's where the light would be in my head. And again, remember, don't worry about what it's looking like. Go with the feeling. Try and blend. Get some of these beautiful greens and blues all coming through. Keep pulling itself out and working itself out. The interesting thing is going to be when I pop it, and I put it here, the colour where it's all going to go, and then I've got to drag it, and I'm hoping to sweep it around and see what we can do there. That's the intention. And again, let's just have fun. I think I'm saying that to reassure myself, people, not yourselves. And what we are going to do is prepare our flip cup after I've torched this, but I am going to add a little bit of alcohol into that part because I do want to see if that's going to split it, create some beautiful cells or feature, and just add to what we are going to be doing here. But so far so good. Don't know if it looks like a peacock like the colours do, or if it looks like some kind of sea creature. Expect the unexpected with resin. So I am going to apply what's left of my peacock green, leaving just a tiny little bit in the cup for me too. There's only a little bit, that's why I've had to scrape that in, not ideal. I'm going to add what's left of some of these blues just to the side of it. Alright, and then this is where it's going to get fun. I'm going to start to add the colours, but apologies, I'll fast forward this bit. Just need to get my alcohol out and put a few blobs in. So I'm just going to mix that. Just put a couple of drops in each. Remember, it does mix with a consistency. Now you do have to mix it in fairly quick because it does evaporate very quickly. But as soon as you apply it, you can see the different effects happening. So I am going to add the red first because that's going to complement very nice the blues and add different tones. Always keeping some of these colours at the bottom for when I come back round. Sorry, I'm twisting trying to grab these so that you can see what I'm adding. I'm going with the darker purple first, and then I'm going to bring in with the lighter ones, and hopefully I'll end up with some of the lighter ones at the top. So that's my deep purple added. Twisting it around a little bit. And I'm going to come with my lighter purple, which is actually, to me, a raspberry or a pink colour. Hoping I'm not creating sludge. And I'm going to add now some of the light bronze to it, but making sure I'm going to keep some to one side. And I am now going to add going on to the slightly lighter pink. Just want to keep that out, just notice something's fallen in there. So lightening this up. Hoping this is still in view for you. It's very hard when I'm twisting. Okay, keep some of that colour in there. And my final one that looks like lilac. Let's see what the resin gods like, but that just looks beautiful in there. So I am going to pop it here and then hopefully spin it around. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to put some clear around here to help move it. I don't want to water it too much. I'm going to let it seep out itself. I'm going to see if I've got a pin. So I'm going to bring it down and then flip it round without trying to ruin it too much. So some beautiful depth in there, but I need to work with this because there's a lot there and I don't want it going off. Let's see what's going to happen with this. Not as exciting effects as I thought it was going to be, but let's see, let's continue working with it. What I'm going to do is just torch it and then just start dragging it through, and hopefully we might get something amazing. The colours are separating and they're coming quite vibrant. I think I definitely might need to mix some more up. So let's start with the old feathers. If it's doing this, I'm just trying to work out what it is that I think I'm trying to do. I think what I want to do is pull it slowly this way. It doesn't matter if my bird comes down because I am going to pull that around as well. What I might do is, for now, just add the clear around. At this point I'm just trying to work through this and seeing what I'm going to do. I've never done this before, don't know what it's going to turn out like or what's the correct method, but I'm seeing some beautiful tones coming through and things like that, but I feel like I need the clear resin now, so that when I do things like what I'm just doing now, it's going to move easily and then I'm not going to sort of ruin anything. So let's do that. That's my plan at the minute. Clear resin. Let me, I'm all good because it's starting to warm up, which is not what we want. Get it on the board. I think I caught that in time before it was going to be waiting too long, just getting, because that'll add some nice effects as well. It is separating beautifully though here. A tiny little bit in there, and I'm just going to work on moving this out and getting it to connect with the image. This is where it will start bleeding into the clear, and I'm okay with that. So for me, I'm just working out whether I should have put the clear on first, but there's pros to both, I think, and I'd love your opinion. The thing with not putting clear on, you know, you're not diluting anything and you're going to keep the colours that you wanted. But then when you've got to do detail work like this, would have been better adding it before. And that is what I'm learning. And I'm sure everybody has their own preferences. And again, I'm not wanting this image totally clean. I don't mind about these odd colours that are blending in with each other. I'm actually quite liking it, so I'm introducing it a little bit because I don't want it to be precise. I want it to look abstract and a little bit of feel. Feeling, not feel. Oh dear. Look at me trying to sound all professional and doesn't know what she's talking about. So I think it's time to apply. Oh, that's not what I wanted to happen. That looks like some kind of phoenix bird. Yes, I think this half I should have definitely added it underneath. The other part I think I did right to not apply it underneath, because that's given me the ability to control a little bit more, to a sense. Definitely going like treacle. And resin painters will know what that means. It's a warning. Finish what you're doing or get the heat on there. And I am going to get the heat on there. Okay, what am I doing? All right, I'm going to try and just sweep around these a little bit for movement. I know there's blue in there, I know they're not attached to the image. See the pressure of rushing. Okay, let me just come back with the white. Just going to give some texture. Okay, so I am going to have to leave it here because it has gone too tacky with the heat. It's dried a lot quicker. Don't have the right amount of working time. So I'm starting to get a basis of what I wanted, but I want to bring out more vibrancy here and a few more floaty things. So I believe I'm going to have a second coat with this. Otherwise, if I keep working on it, I'm going to ruin the bits I have, and there's so much on this that I really love. But I'll bring you in for a closer look so you can see what I'm seeing. And hopefully I will be able to do another coat. I can see bits where I've not got the resin to the end, and I want to do a few more sweepy things. But I love how the blues come through to the pinks and the purples. I do like the fact that it's bleeding and it's not perfect, 'cause it's not meant to be an exact replica or controlled image. But I need to rework this on another day once this is set and I come in for a second coat. But I'll show you what we've got so far. So this is what I've got after my first coat. The heat here has dried it far quicker than I'm used to working, so I don't have resin. Oh, sorry, my fingers are so dirty from the resin. But I don't have everything perfect. I don't have everything covered in resin, but if I carry on moving it, it's so sticky, it's going to leave residue like that part there, which I'm going to have to deal with. But on the positive, I love how this is feeling and moving. I love the colours and the tones and how they're bleeding through. I do love how it comes through to the pinks and the purples, and some of that peacock colour is coming through, so there is movement. However, that top corner there I really don't like at the minute. That's where I knew it had worked or set too hard to work with, so I will have to come back and I'm going to really keep the essence exactly as it is, but maybe just bring forward some more vibrant colours and more sweepy, because it is bleeding out a little bit more than what I hoped. It looks quite a fat little peacock as well, but there's lots and lots of learns and lots I like. So hopefully you can see what I'm trying to achieve, and when I come back for the second coat, which I think it will only need a second coat, I should be able to finish this. But I am learning how to deal with resin now in the warmer weather, and I have to bear that in mind when I'm making decisions of what I'm working with and work quicker than I have before. So hope you like this, and I will see you on the other side when this is cured for 24 hours.